YouTubers don't only innocently make videos, sometimes they turn into real-life criminals. And first, a YouTuber was arrested for scamming the US government. That's because Cody aka Whistlin' Diesel is known for buying ridiculously expensive cars just to destroy them. And you might be wondering, how the hell does this dude afford millions of dollars worth of cars just to destroy them? Well, after setting on fire, then burning a brand new $500,000 Ferrari, the feds were kind of wondering the same thing, then eventually pulled up on him, threw him in handcuffs, and dragged him off to jail. Apparently, Cody had abused a tax loophole by purchasing the Ferrari in Montana, you know, one of 5 states that doesn't have a state sales tax. Then he immediately traveled back to his home state of Tennessee with his new tax-free wit. The problem was, in order to actually do this legally, the owner must reside in the state the car was purchased in for 30 days, which he didn't. So that's why Cody was arrested on charges of tax evasion. Now, even though he did post his $20,000 bond and is out free for now, if he ends up being convicted, he could face up to 5 years in federal prison with a $250,000 fine. Damn. But speaking of supercars, another YouTuber got arrested for doing stunts straight out of Fast and Furious. Alex Choi gone viral multiple times for filming crazy stunts, which I definitely don't approve of doing, because I'm talking about things like towing 10,000 pounds with a supercar or even flying in a Tesla. But none of those stunts were as crazy as what actually got him arrested. A brand new Lambo, a whole ass helicopter, hundreds of pounds of fireworks, and a few military baddies. All got put together to do this. Alright, now if we're being honest, I actually thought that was pretty cool, but the US government wasn't having it. Apparently having any sort of explosive device, including fireworks, on any sort of aircraft is extremely illegal. So not only was Alex arrested, he recently posted bail for $50,000, but still faces charges of potentially up to 20 years in federal prison. All for a stupid stunt, man. Speaking of stupid, Jack Dowie is now facing prison time just for being a dumbass. See, Jack had reportedly been standing in the middle of the street in Miami Beach, holding up traffic just to make a video, all while ignoring police officers, asking him to move out the way, and just responding with, "Once I'm done with this, bet." Now, obviously, ignoring police orders was stupid and immediately led to him and his boys being detained. But this whole situation was about to get 10 times dumber when you realize Jack was doing all this while being in possession of some illegal substances. Alright, disobeying police orders while literally having 2 illegal things on you too at the same time. Dude is a dumbass. That's why he immediately got sent to jail and now could potentially face up to 7 years in prison for disobeying police orders as well as having those substances. Idiot. But moving on to Vitaly, his journey from YouTuber to full-time criminal has not only landed him in jail multiple times, it's even gotten him threatened by a president. Cause what started out as just pranks like stripping down and streaking the World Cup, World Series, and even the NBA Finals, those incidents only got him 1 night in jail each. But when Vitaly decided to trespass and climb all the way to the top of the Pyramid of Giza, that got him arrested again, this time earning him 5 days in Egyptian prison. Now, alright, all those arrests were just fun and games compared to what came next, cause after the police received this call, apparently an intoxicated Vitaly had gone outside and attacked a random woman, leaving him with injuries so bad I can't even show him on YouTube. That's why the cops pulled up on him at his house, dragged him outside, cuffed him, and brought his ass straight to jail. However, somehow, even for a crime that bad, the woman ended up settling with him in civil court. So Vitaly was lucky enough to not serve any prison time for that. But his luck was not about to last for long, cause during April 2025, while visiting the Philippines, Vitaly at the big age of 33 decided to stream himself harassing locals. Then he even stole a security guard's hat, motorcycle, a literal fan, and twin. All that stupid actually had him proud of himself. Problem was, the Philippine police had been watching his streams the entire time, so they quickly stepped in to arrest him. This put his story all over the Philippine news to the point that even their president was reacting to clips of Italy's antics. He even stated that foreigners who think they can humiliate Filipinos are done. This is an example that we're serious about in our own country before sending Vitaly off to jail, where he remains to this day, waiting on a trial that could land him up to 24 years in prison. Damn, but I could see those things resulting in criminal charges. I never thought the combination of a YouTuber, a soda, and a coconut would not only have someone facing prison time, but also beefing with a killer tribe. These are the Sentinel, a completely isolated tribe living on an island near India, whose people have literally zero interaction with the modern world. What's even crazier is that any outsiders who try to intrude, they literally threaten them with bows and arrows and even killed a missionary who tried making contact with them. Jesus. But despite all of that, a small YouTuber whose content consisted of visiting dangerous places around the world decided that his next destination would be their North Sentinel Island. Now, after approaching the shore, the YouTuber reportedly recorded himself leaving a Coke can as well as some coconuts as an offering, all while using a whistle to try and grab the natives' attention. Now, he never ended up actually contacting the tribe because he was quickly arrested and brought to face justice in India, where he still remains in custody to this day, facing charges of up to 5 years in Indian prison just for trying. But of course, a Paul brother did something stupid enough to end up in this video because Logan Paul got arrested for flying something over one of the biggest structures on Earth. As soon as Logan Paul touched down in Rome, he immediately got to work annoying locals on the train, pissing off even more people inside a fancy hotel, and even managed to trigger the staff at a fancy restaurant. Anyways, after his long day of being an absolute jackass, Logan eventually made his way to the world-famous Roman Colosseum. Now, this is a beautiful historic landmark. I mean, it's one of the most precious pieces of human history that's been standing for over 2,000 years, and everyone who comes here recognizes that this land is sacred. So of course they treat it with the utmost respect. Drone shots here are illegal, so let's definitely do that. Wait a minute. Man knew this was illegal and still did it. Never mind. Obviously the police were immediately called to the scene. I understand drone shots here are illegal, and Logan's dumbass was arrested within 15 minutes. Getting arrested, especially overseas, is never a good thing. I mean, that's why him and his crew were extremely nervous about the whole situation, because if Logan was found guilty and sentenced for flying that drone, he could be fined up to $127,000, get the drone and all his equipment confiscated forever, and the whole situation could even lead to a criminal charge on his record if things go too far. Honestly, I'm done with this guy. Johnny Somali was a small content creator whose entire brand was literally traveling around the world and disrespecting anyone and everything that he came into contact with. Time and time again, these clips of him disrespecting innocent people for no reason would go viral, and to no one's surprise, almost all the comments would be wondering just why exactly is this idiot even famous, man? Some people were even saying even his own race don't claim him, and some were so mad they were threatening to hurt him if they ever saw him, but all that hate didn't seem to faze him at all, so he just continued terrorizing innocents during his worldwide streams, and eventually he made it to his next destination, South Korea. But little did he know, South Korea might be the last place he ever visits. While he was there, he visited the Comfort Women's statue, which symbolizes all the horrible abuse the Korean women went through during their time as slaves. Now, normally, if people visit the statue, they simply pay their respects or maybe take a picture of the historic piece. But Johnny, of course, was about to do something to cross the line. And after doing something as disgusting as that, South Korea was not happy, so they moved to get him arrested immediately. They also quickly issued a travel ban on him so he doesn't have any chance to leave the country. And to make things even worse, the South Korean government racked up all the crimes he did while he was there. 4 counts of obstruction of business, 2 minor offenses, and 2 more charges for spreading misleading or offensive deep fakes. So at the very minimum, this dude is facing up to 20 years jail time. I'm no judge, but 20 years seems way too short of a sentence for this freak. Anyways, another YouTuber not only got in trouble with the cops multiple times, it actually made all of his own fans hate him. Maris Brownlee, the wholesome tech reviewer guy that would certainly never ever do anything wrong. Well, it actually turns out that dude's a serial offender, cause multiple body cam footage clips got released of him not only driving without his license. Now, even though dude thought he was slick by blurring this speedometer, he somewhat forgot about this second speedometer that showed him reaching up to 96 miles per hour, triple the speed limit of 35 miles per hour, and this all took place in a literal school zone. This was about to get him hella criticized. Eventually though, he did post an apology to Twitter, but his own fans weren't buying it and started coming out against him, saying things like, "You're not sorry you did it, you're sorry you got caught," or "Yeah, you're an idiot." One fan even went so far to say, "How can you call yourself a car enthusiast while also putting the lives of children at risk just because you decided to go 60 miles over the speed limit for a 10-second video clip?" Do better. He's just lucky he didn't get arrested for that clip, cause honestly, going triple the speed limit in a school zone not only could have gotten his license suspended, he could have gotten more than a month in jail, or even worse, killed a kid. But speaking of children, this next YouTuber got pinned down and arrested all cause he did something only little kids do. What? See, Daddy Duke went viral for getting arrested at this mall, but it wasn't because of shoplifting, robbing jewelry stores, or anything else that other criminals do. Duke got arrested for playing hide and seek at the mall with the whole AM crew, and that not only got him thrown in cuffs, then manhandled by the cops. This sexy ass mugshot of him got released after he got booked, where he got charged with criminal trespassing and evading arrest. But getting arrested for playing a kid's game is one thing. This next YouTuber got in trouble with the law, all cause of what he did at one of the funnest places in the world, Universal Studios. Man's had to be drunk to do something like that. Wait a minute. Yeah, as you can see, Steve will do it as a pretty bad drinking problem, and doing things like that, combined with being here at a fun-ass place like Universal, eventually was about to make the news. Steve had actually been kicked out of the amusement park for being too drunk on the premises, which I don't think anyone was surprised about. But what really surprised people was how he was caught trying to sneak back into the same amusement park under full disguise. Alright, now, as hilarious as that was, the police in amusement park did not think Steve's little prank was funny, so they charged his ass with trespassing on property after warning. Then Universal went as far as to ban Steve from all their amusement parks for life. Damn, man's always getting banned from things. But Mr. Beast's law-breaking moment not only got him arrested, he could have gotten killed. That came from Mr. Beast buying a new BMW i8. And with a car that crazy, one day he was just whipping it around when someone pulled up next to him trying to race. So now, wanting to see what his new car was made of, Mr. Beast stepped on the gas and started completely zooming past the other driver until now Mr. Beast was in a police chase. And when dash cam footage revealed cops catching up to him, it not only showed Mr. Beast getting pulled over for driving over 120 in a 70-mile-per-hour zone, he ended up getting charged with reckless driving and even got put in jail. He's going that fast could have easily gotten him killed. But to make things even worse, the car he was racing had two criminals inside who had warrants, open liquor containers, even a gun, and Mr. Beast being in the center of a controversy involving shady people doing plenty of illegal activity was definitely something everyone was talking about. People called the situation terrible, were upset with him for putting others' lives at risk, and straight up attacked his character. This next YouTuber turned criminal might be the worst of them all, cause of what she did to her own children. Ruby Frank was a well-known YouTuber who made day in the lifestyle content about her journey as a mom raising 6 kids. I mean, her content was honestly really wholesome at first, almost always laughing and smiling with her kids, even to the point where other parents were taking notes from Ruby on how to interact with their kids. With over 2 million subscribers over the years, most likely by parents who were looking at this, looking at the tactics used, looking to them for advice, as so many do on social media. But as perfect as things seemed on the outside, behind closed doors, the unthinkable was happening. Ruby was physically and emotionally abusing every single one of her 6 children, doing horrible things to them, like making them get down on the pavement and do push-ups whenever they made any kind of mistake, threatening to literally take away their whole bedroom if they didn't obey every order. But since they were just kids, there was nothing they could really do about it until one afternoon, one of their sons decided it was up to him to save his family. And after their son managed to run to the neighbors for help, the cops finally saw the horrible condition the son was in, and now got fully involved in the situation where they found that the rest of the children had been abused just as bad, if not worse. So after years of going through that abuse, finally on August 30th, 2023, Ruby was finally arrested. Then after all the evidence police found, she went to court and obviously pleaded guilty. So right now she's in jail facing up to 60+ years for her crimes.